Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead! I got a piece of it, it comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20, breaks free to the 25 to the 30 to the outside. 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this TGI Mickey Finky Friday. It's the weekend, baby. And I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Come on, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page, go to Shawn and Maya like that as well. So not only will you be following Sports Zone Chicago, but you'll be following Shawn and Maya in the morning as well. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, come on, baby, get with the program. Go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago. Click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell right next to it. And that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, if you watch this on our mobile app, yay. Man, if you don't know we have a mobile app, come on, man. You got to keep up with the Joneses in them. We got a mobile app, so wherever you get your apps from, it doesn't matter. You go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it. You take us with you on the go, so not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, and not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew, and I mean a slew of articles. Thanks to my man Clarence, Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. You watch this on our Roku channel. I like that kind of party, baby. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. So if you have a Roku television in the house, do us a favor. Download Sports Zone Chicago's channel to your Roku television. Put us there next to the big boys: Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, Prime, Apple, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, Stars. Do it. All right, put us there and watch it on the big screen. How we're on the big screen, right, Mickey? Now. You can also, now, if you want to tweet the show, you can tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI, at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online. Want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. Listen, we got a great show, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or our mobile app, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here in the thread. We'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around. And that's you. So keep them coming. Bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. Like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it. Just bring it. Man, the chat is jumping because I was running late today. It was crazy. Man, I was running late because I had to shovel the driveway. Even though we have a HOA. All right, that we got to pay every month. Obviously, for those of you who live in condos and townhomes, you know what an HOA is. And we have a service. But who knows what time that service is coming? Who knows what time that service is going to get here? So mom's is going down, at my first, my mom gets we get a lift for her to take her to CrossFit, and I go pick her up. But I had to shovel the driveway because the driveway is kind of on an incline. Had to shovel the driveway and then salt it because, again, I don't know what time those people are getting there. So I'm running a little late, so I apologize. But let's check out who's in the chat. My man Armando Emeterio, Lara Jr. My man Jr.'s checking in. What's up, Papa? He says, good morning. Michelle Walls in the Mickey Picky house says, Mickey Picky TGIF, and it's the weekend, baby. You know it, Papa. You know it. Oh, shit. Mr. Shode is in the house. Yes. Look at it. He says, Shorty says, it's even snowing here in Atlanta. I woke up to a good 2 inches. It doesn't stay freezing here during the day, so now it's turned to rain. Woke up to 2 good inches. That's what she said. Oh, how you doing? I'll be here all week. Be sure to tip your bartenders. So he said it'll be all ice tomorrow morning. Perfect for my 12-hour drive back to Chicago. Oh, you're coming back home. Okay, Papa. Cornelius Squalls in the house. He's like, what up, sports owners? His coaching searches is because paralysis by analysis. Yeah. Shorty said, I can't wait to drive in the icy roads in the Smoky Mountains of Chattanooga, the Moccasins, University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. One of my running back coach my senior year, Tony Ball. I had him for 1 year before, because my coach left. We got a new staff my senior year, but Tony Ball was from the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, the Moccasins. Yeah, he was a good dude. He's a real good dude. Russell Webster checking in the house. Abdul Carter, yes, sir, Bob. Yes, sir, Bob. That joker, man, he ain't nothing nice. Wow. Oh, man, James Ford checking in. What's up, Papa? How are you? Thank you. I appreciate it. Checking in. King Booker World checking in. Says salute, Chat, and Shawn. Yeah, listen, guys, we got a great show at 10 o'clock. My man, Zack Pearson from BearReport.com is going to join us. Talking all things Bears. Tons of head coaching interviews yesterday. The list seems to keep growing and growing. It's what, 16 or 17, 27. Who knows how many damn people are on the list. And I told you my feelings yesterday, how I feel about that enormous list. I think it's stupid. But it gives the appearance, like, to those who don't know, it makes it look like, oh, we're doing everything we can, when you're really wasting your time. Go after the 3 or 4 or 5 people, 8 people. Narrow it down to 8. Bring those guys in if you can. You should have brought one of those guys, 2 of those guys in already. Should have flown them in, and the other people you can only do via Zoom because they're still employed by other teams. It's getting crazy. So Zack Pearson, 10 o'clock, going to join us. So I'm fired up about that. Well, guys, you know how we do the first segment of every show. It's called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
See which way we go. Which way do we go? Which way do we go? On Wednesday, here we go. It was craziness. On Wednesday, the Bulls belted Indiana Pacers 114-110. Listen, this was a frustrating. I'll tell you what, I was happy for the fact that, all right, at least you start losing. At least you're losing, because we need you to start losing. Oh, no, wrong score. Pardon me. They lost 129-113 to the Indiana Pacers on Wednesday. And let me tell you, it was a rough one. Zach LaVine led the way with 31 points. Kobe White, 19 points. Nikola Vucevic, usually a walking double-double, not this time. 10 points, only 7 rebounds. Jalen Smith chipped in with 13 off the bench. A lot of good, but everybody scored. Everybody scored. Insane. insane. Just craziness for our Bulls. Some days they look good. Some days they look like crap. But keeping up with the top of the morning topics, the Bulls host the Wizards tonight at the United Center. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on Chicago Sportsnet Plus or listen to it on their flagship station, 670 a.m. Moving on, the Blackhawks travel to Detroit to take on the Red Wings. Puck drop is at 6 o'clock Central Time. You can catch that game on Chicago Sportsnet or listen to it on their flagship station, 7:20 a.m. You know, but on Wednesday, the Blackhawks, baby. I like it. I like it a lot. What are you doing here? On Wednesday, the Blackhawks beat the Colorado Avalanche 3-1. They were at the United Center. Peter Mrazek stopped 35 of 36 shots. Blackhawks goal scored by Mikheyev, his 8th of the year, assisted by Connor Bedard, his 26th assist of the season. Frank Nazar scores his first NHL goal. Connor Bedard scored his 11th NHL goal. Doc and Tevinjenkins assisted on Nazar's goal. Bertuzzi and Seth Jones assisted on Bedard's goal. 3-1, great win by the Blackhawks. That's what you want to see, the Blackhawks doing it well. As I said, tonight they travel to Motown to face the Red Wings. The next top of the morning topic, this was a nice one. Woo-wee, the college football playoffs, baby. The Orange Bowl. Capital One Orange Bowl, pardon me. Notre Dame defeats number 7. Notre Dame defeats number 6 Penn State 27-24 as time expired. They advanced to the college football championship, college football national championship, championship game on Monday, January 20th. That game starts at 6:30 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on ESPN. Listen, if you didn't get to catch that game yesterday, oh my God, Becky. Wow. That's the first matchup in the semifinals. The second matchup is tonight, 6:30 Central, the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. Number 5 Texas takes on number 8 Oklahoma State. As I said, 6:30 p.m. kickoff. You can catch that game on ESPN. The winner of this game faces the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Notre Dame, who is looking to win their first national title since 1988. Some of you may not even have been born in 1988, but that was the last time they won the national championship. Lou Holtz, Chris Zorich, Todd Light, Tim Brown, their squad. They had a squad. Was Michael Stonebreaker on there? I think he might have still been on that team, Michael Stonebreaker. I don't know. Can't remember. Well, keep it moving. Next topic of the morning topic, the Bears started their interview process yesterday with Pete Carroll, Anthony Weaver, Mike Kafka, and Drew Petzing being conducted on Thursday. I'll tell you, man, it's crazy when all these were being done virtually, and it bothers me. It really, really bothers me. I mean, I told you, my guy is Mike Vrabel. But right after him would be Pete Carroll. Actually, Mike Vrabel was yesterday. I don't know why I had Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll, I think this might be today. I mistake, but Mike Kafka, Weaver, and Petzing were yesterday. And the thing about Vrabel doing his interview over Zoom bothered me because you have the ability to fly him in. All right, you did. And to me, that looks like a half-ass organization. I know the majority of things meetings have to be done over Zoom at this particular point. Only way they have to be done over Zoom if the person you're interviewing is still under still under contract with another NFL team. If they're not under contract, then you can fly them in. Okay, so Pete Carroll is not under contract. He sat out this past season after stepping down last offseason. So he's not employed. They could have flown him in. Mike Vrabel was on Cleveland staff as a consultant. His contract expired last week. So he wasn't under contract. You could have brought him in. Hell, Mike Vrabel's going to the Patriots today. They're flying him in. This is what I'm talking about. This half-ass bullshit is what keeps us the laughing stock of the league. If you're interested in Vrabel or anybody, show them. Show them. Go pick him up in your private jet or fly him first class. You should have a private jet. Go pick his ass up in a private jet. Okay, and bring him here. But stop doing this Zoom shit when you have the ability. You have the ability to bring certain people in who aren't under contract. And these are two of the better candidates that, in my opinion, that they have. Very frustrating about that. It makes them look good. Staying with the Bears search. Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson and defensive Glenn. Now, those have to be done over Zoom because they're both obviously still employed. They're under contract with the Detroit Lions. This first round, anyway. Second one, other ones after this one, they can be in person. But now they're going to have to wait until these guys are done in the playoffs. But they're coming. They're set to be interviewed. Both of them are set to be interviewed on Saturday. All right. So it's going to be pretty busy day tomorrow for the Bears front office. St. Rita alumni and offensive coordinator for the New York Giants, Mike Kafka, was also interviewed. That's got to be cool, man. Growing up on the South Side, and you get to interview for the head coaching vacancy of the Chicago Bears, the team you grew up rooting for as a kid. That's kind of dope. On a more somber note, keeping it moving to the top of the morning topic, the Vikings-Ram playoff game, which is set for Monday, which was set to be in Los Angeles as the Rams were the home team, had been moved to Arizona due to the fires in Southern California. You saw the damage that has been done by those fires and multi-million-dollar mansions, and just people have swept through the area. Multi-million-dollar mansions have been burned to the ground as the fire swept through the area. It's unfortunate, and they didn't know if, for the safety of not just the players and not just for the teams, but also for the fans getting to and from, they decided to move it to Arizona. So let's see. Let's check out. Let me go back to the chat, see who else is in there. Patty Larris checking in. Good morning, Ma. Thank you so much for tuning in. Theo Shawn, Jeremiah. Yeah, baby. Oh, snap. Jay Grizz checking in. What's up, Papa? How you doing? Freeman is a coach. I'm not sure what I was saying before that, Russell, but thank you for checking in, Papa. I appreciate it. What tangent was I going off on Freeman, coach? Jay Grizz, go Irish, huh? I told you I'm not a big Irish fan, but I wanted them to win. I did. I wanted them to win last week against Georgia. I wanted them to win this week. And hey, Russell, you ain't lying. Ohio State is at another level. They got to handle Texas. It's going to be a little difficult. Won't be too bad, but I think they can get there. Jay Grizz, Stonebreaker was on that team as well. Stan Smagala. The reason I remember that because there were so many Chicago Catholic League guys: Paul Glonick, Jeff Pearson, John Foley, Stan Smagala. All those guys those are St. Rita and St. Lawrence guys. All on that Notre Dame team. All right, Chris Zorich was on that team as well. Yeah. So, Courtney Squalls, Jay Grizz. I'm checking to see anyone. Jay Grizz, so you're echoing the exact same words I said last night, Shawn. Vrabel was a top candidate. Treat him as such. Hell yeah. Let him know he's wanted here. Fly him in, wine him, and dine him. Jay Grizz, what a way to celebrate not only my birthday, but Marcus Freeman's birthday as well with an Irish victory. Shout out to all my Capricorn. Is today your birthday, Jay Grizz, or last night? Happy birthday, Jay Grizz, in the house. Russell says, I believe Poles wants Ben Johnson. That's why they're putting on this sham search. I don't know. Rumors. There are a lot of reports that say he didn't want Ben Johnson because Ben Johnson wants another GM. Interesting. Today's your birthday, huh? Yeah, baby, baby. Happy birthday, Jay Grizz. That's awesome. Mr. Shorty says, Rocket Ismail made me a Notre Dame fan when I was a kid. Hey, I hear you. He was special. Oh, damn. I'm so sorry. So my wife's about to lose her company to the fire. Sorry about that, Shorty. That stinks. Man. Man, oh, man, oh, man. But you know what? Companies and businesses can be rebuilt. Homes can be rebuilt. People cannot. Just remember that. All right, well, listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, all right, we're gonna talk college football, the national championship game. All right, national championship game. We're going to talk about that. That game was awesome last night. Awesome. All right, so don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Many will hear the calling. Few will earn the title. United States Marine. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
We are looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators, a passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds, help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
Mental health and learning disorders don't discriminate. 17 million children and adolescents in the United States live with disorders like anxiety, depression, ADHD, and dyslexia. Less than half get the help they need to thrive. Help the Child Mind Institute change these children's lives. Visit childmind.org.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Brian Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left, and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down, because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
Singleton remains the back. It's a blitz and a good call. A screen against it. Nicholas Singleton across midfield. And knocked down by Christian Gray. And the Darth Vader stickers under his eyes. On 3rd down and 7, Leonard back. Shoulder throw. Caught by Mitch Evans, and he's out of bounds. 4 yards, his lowest total of the year. It took him 30 carries to get it. Lots of running room for Price. And he's down close to the first down. Tyler Warren again lines up. He was recruited as a quarterback by many schools, originally committed to Virginia Tech. He really struggled. His confidence was gone. 3-man rush. Aller, here come the laterals. Warren ladled it off. Harrison Wallace sends it back to Aller. And that's out of bounds and ends the game. Notre Dame has won the Orange Bowl, and Marcus Freeman is taking them to the championship game.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning at Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of ESPN. That was a game last night. If you're a Notre Dame fan, you're fired up. If you're a Notre Dame hater, you're mad as hell right about now. What a phenomenal game. And That was an awesome, awesome game. Awesome. Oh, man, Brian checking in. What's up, Papa? How are you? Waking up after your long hibernation. Plank checking in. What's up, Papa? How are you? Plankster in the house. That's what he's talking. That's what I'm talking about. Jay Grizz. Yeah, we're going to talk about that Joker. Yeah. Jeremiah Love touchdown run was sweet. That was sweet. Yeah. So we definitely have a lot to talk about. So let's get right to it. Big game. Big game for Marcus Freeman and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. My mom's car here. Looks like it. Notre Dame hasn't been this far in a long time. The last time they were this far, they played Alabama and got smoked. Okay. And that was, 10 years ago? Yeah. That was the Manti Te'o. The Manti Te'o fake girlfriend thingy. That whole issue. And they're doing it, if you remember, we had Shawn Davis on Wednesday, who covers IrishRecruiting.com, hosts an Irish podcast, Lucky Lefty podcast, with former Notre Dame quarterback Malik Zaire. And here's why Marcus Freeman, I think, is a phenomenal coach. He's doing this without an elite quarterback. Riley Leonard is good. But he's not great. And if you remember on Wednesday, Shawn Davis said Notre Dame is the only team whose quarterback doesn't have to play a good game for them to win. And he's right. Notre Dame's running game was held in check for the most part until the end. So Jeremiah Love just bullied his way into the end zone. Oh, my goodness gracious. Great ball to fire. Bullied his way. But Aller had to have a good game yesterday. Okay. Quinn Ewers has to have a good game tonight for them to win. And Ohio State's quarterback has to have a good night tonight as well. Notre Dame, if Ohio State was not in this playoff, I think Notre Dame would win it. Notre Dame still could win it. It's possible. I just think the buzzsaw that is Ohio State is too strong. I think they're going to get through Texas today, and it'll be an Ohio State Notre Dame final, a title game. But let's get back to yesterday. There are a couple things that I didn't like regarding the Fighting Irish. One, Abdul Carter. Abdul Carter is defensive end. He was lined up on the right side of the offense, left side of the defense, and he was a monster. His left shoulder was jacked up. And he's still making plays because he could fight with his right shoulder and get around the corner, and he's making plays. And my thought was this: why, Marcus Freeman, did you not have your offensive coordinator? Why did you not have someone chipping on Abdul Carter? Because you're chipping him, you're hitting his left shoulder, and his left shoulder is the jacked up one. Remember we talked about that earlier this week? If his shoulder's there, if his shoulder's bad, you have somebody chip. He went off the field a couple times. I remember one time he fell He fell on his shoulder, on his left shoulder, and then an offensive lineman tripped. I don't know if it looked like he kind of did it on purpose. He kind of fell over him on his left shoulder as well, right after he fell, after Abdul Carter fell on his left shoulder. So he fell on his shoulder, and another lineman fell on his shoulder immediately after it. And he jogged off the field. You watch, when he was jogging, he wasn't swinging his arms. He was swinging his right arm, and his left arm was just kind of like still. So I was wondering why you didn't do that, because guess what? That'll slow you down. When you're hurt and somebody attacks your weakness, and listen, you might call it cruel, you might call it mean, but listen, if you're out on the field and I can neutralize you, but nothing illegal, that would not have been illegal. Chipping him at all would not be illegal. I'm doing it. I'm doing it every play. Every play. See, the killer instinct there wasn't there by by the Notre Dame Fighting Irish offensive coordinator. Listen, this kid, he's still going to get drafted in the top 5. You could have beat his ass and hurt and made him possibly quit. I don't know. But you find out, you attack him, run right at him. People like that, you cannot run away from. He will catch you from behind. You run right at them. And especially when he's weakened, you definitely run right at him and attack his weakness every single time. That bothered me. That bothered me. Riley Leonard. I don't like the way that they run their quarterback draws, or I don't even know if it's a draw. Quarterback counters. He gets it, he hops once or twice, and then goes. He got tackled by the safety, because the safety saw it immediately. Riley Leonard got the ball, he hopped. 2 offensive linemen came around and he followed. The offensive lineman picked up their blocks, but no one was picking up him because he wasn't in the box in the count. He got tackled for no gain. I'm not a big fan of that. But I was a big fan of the resiliency of Notre Dame. Notre Dame went down 10-0. It was poor pickings. Poor pickings. The first half. They're down 10-0. Thought we were gonna go into the half 10-0, but they're able to muster up a drive. Kick that field goal right before the half, which is perfect because they got the ball the second half. Great halftime adjustments by Notre Dame. Great. Great halftime adjustments. They started running the ball more. Starting to have that offensive line dominate. Great job defensively. Interceptions. You're full. I remember accidentally falling on a force player and he got carted off the field. Accidentally, huh? Let's see. Rashawn Wall says, this Abdul Carter is a stud. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Oh, you're talking about Howard Cross? Yeah. Howard Cross the third. Yeah, he played well too. There are a couple of things that I just think that Notre Dame could have done better, but again, they did obviously had more than enough to win. More than enough to win. Big play by the defense. Big play by the special teams kicker. Big time. Big time. Like, like this is where you prep, because you know that there are moments like this. There'll only be one more game that'll be more important than this one. And that's on January 20th. So I'm looking forward to some adjustments, whoever they play. Because if they play Ohio State, they're going to have to play their best game. Yeah, Jay Grizz, he played for the Giants back in the day. Yep. I believe wasn't he a tight end? Wasn't his dad a tight end? But the run by Love, goodness gracious, great balls of fire. That run by Jeremiah Love was just insane. That was beast mode like. That was mini beast mode. That was college beast mode. His refusal to go down after being hit. He had to hop over a guy first. People dragging at him. He's pulling at him. People had his waist. He's grinding. He's pumping his legs. Bouncing off tacklers. And finally extends the ball out over the goal line. Touchdown. Phenomenal, phenomenal touchdown run. I, as a former running back, approve of that message. I approve of that message. I approve of that message. I approve of that run. That run was impressive. And I'm very thankful that he had. And see, that gets me going. That got me going. To know the running backs still fight like that. Running backs still have that desire. Running backs are still that powerful. Running backs are still that determined. Running backs still have that spirit in them that you will not bring me down without a fight. And they fight all the way to the ground. That fired me up. Man, me and my guy Caesar, we went and watched it over at my guy Andy's spot, local cantina here on 95th. And me and my guy Caesar went nuts. Big time high five. It was awesome. It was awesome. And Uncle Mo, I'm talking about momentum. Uncle Mo shifted sides a couple times in the game. Momentum shifted a couple times. Aunt Moss checking in. He says, bear down, Shawn. Good morning. Bear down, Aunt Moss. How are you, Papa? Appreciate you. And Notre Dame was finally able to get it back. Big defensive stop. Big interception. Big time interception. That left them, 15 yards away from a field goal, from field goal range. They got it. Great game of great time management skills. Coach Freeman. Saving that one timeout. So it was necessary. You had to use it. You know, I liked it a lot. Tyler Warren's another you're God blessed right, Jay Grizz. That Joker boy. Tyler Warren is another stud I'd like you to see in a Bears uniform. Bears uni. Yes, Jay Grizz. Woo, imagine him and Cole Kmet. Tyler Warren is their tight end. Penn State's tight end, number 44. First team All-America. This dude is a throwback. This dude is a throwback. I was worried about him. Remember, he got kind of hit out of bounds. I don't know if it was late. It was too close to call. But he gets hit out of bounds and slams the back of his head on the ground. Whew. Whew. Yeah, that was great player. Great player. A lot of great players in That defense stood strong for Notre Dame, and I was very impressed with their ability to stand firm. A lot of short yardage situations where had Penn State been able to convert, probably the outcome probably could have been different. But I'll tell you what, I was very happy for Notre Dame, very happy for Marcus Freeman. And they asked him about being the first black coach to go to the national championship game. And the one thing, and I like this a lot, he understands the gravity of that situation. Well, him or who's the head coach for Penn State? I can't see him. Light-skinned guy, bald head. Franklin, is it? Anyway, either one of them, whoever won, was going to be the first black coach to go. But Marcus Freeman won it. He's the first black head coach to go. And when asked about it, he said, first of all, I don't want to make it about me, make it about us. That's for starters. James Franklin, yeah, it is. He said, make it about us. He said, yeah, it goes out, because it's all about the team. Because it truly is. The players have to play well. The position coaches have to coach well. The coordinators have to coordinate well. The head coach has got to run all that shit well. And Marcus Freeman's doing a really good job of running all that shit very well. Because how many of you thought after the loss to Northern that they'd be in this spot? Nobody. Unless you're just a diehard Notre Dame homer. Nobody thought they'd be in this spot. Think about all the guys like, oh yeah, after NIU, watch Notre Dame run the table. Well, guess what? They're running the table. Notre Dame has run the table. And they are. It just bugs me because they're going to run into, I believe, in an Ohio State team they're on one. Remember Drake's song, "We on one, we on one." Yes, Ohio State, they're on one. Ohio State is there on one. And I don't know if Notre Dame can get past them. There's a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance. There's a chance, but you're talking about Notre Dame would have to play a great game, and Ohio State would have to play a subpar game. And still, they need some help. I just think this Ohio State team is too strong. Patty says NIU beating ND is going to help their recruiting. Yeah, it is. And they're moving to the Mountain West. So more money. They have a little more, might be a TV contract in there or something. But yeah, it's definitely going to help Northern's recruiting. So I'll tell you what, if Northern played Notre Dame today, man, it wouldn't even be a contest. Notre Dame would blow them out. That's why you play the games. Well, listen, we're going to take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, we're going to switch gears. Get off this Notre Dame talk. And talk Chicago Bears. Our guy covers the Bears for BearReport.com. Zack Pearson. He's going to join us on the other side of the break. A lot of questions. I got a lot of problems with you people. A lot of questions for you people. So we're going to ask all my questions, my guy Zack Pearson on the other side of the break. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Brian Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left, and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down, because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
Giddy has a switch with Bryant, wants to take him off the dribble, gets to the cup and banks it in.
Oh, nice move.
These teams against one another have overcome 20-point deficits in the last couple of years. Bulls are going to have to do that tonight. Vucevic gets to do.
And neither team really shooting a lot of free throws.
Giddy the kick, Horton Tucker a 3.
They only have to be in position to help. You look at Indiana, look at everybody's coming.
I've been very impressed with their defensive numbers tonight. Smith with another 3 to Indiana. Zach having some trouble corralling it. Here is Zach. And he'll have his 30-piece for a 4th consecutive game.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the Morning Sports Zone Chicago. Those courtesy of CHSN, Chicago Sports Network. Those were the Bullies on Wednesday. Very poor performance down in Naptown. Getting blown out down there. One team that didn't get blown out were our boys on Sunday. And yes, I did not have them winning that game. Not a lot of Bears fans did. Okay. Not a lot of pundits, writers, analysts, prognosticators. Not a lot of them did. It didn't mean they didn't have a chance. Don't get me wrong. So you're telling me there's a chance. And there was a chance. Let me tell you, the Bears took advantage of it and were fired. I'm fired up about it. So we were at the bar. We were acting ridiculous. I was calling all Green Bay Packer fans inbred hillbillies who kissed their cousins. And I hadn't even started drinking yet. 11 straight times of frustration. 6 years since we'd beat him, 2018? Yeah. So my next guest we're gonna talk about all things Bears. Maybe not so much about the game, but now that the game is over, there's so much going on. Head coaching search. Everyone's doing. People have been doing mock drafts already. Everyone's talking about social media is talking about Why everyone got to be on Zoom? Why can't you fly him in? Well, kind of. There's some rules you got to follow. So my next guest is going to help us sort all that out and see where he's at in regards to the Bears head coaching search. He covers the Bears for BearReport.com. He's been on this program quite a bit. He rocks with us. You can find him on Twitter at Zack, Z-A-C-K _Pearson. Guys, welcome back to Shawn and Maya, Zack Pearson. Zack, what's up, buddy? Good morning.
Hey, how's it going, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well, especially after that natty game, the semifinal game yesterday. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was a good game. I was on the wrong side of Notre Dame against Georgia, and then I kind of learned my lesson last night. So I'm glad I was on the right side of that. But yeah,
Let me tell you something. I'm not even a Notre Dame fan.
Oh yeah, me either.
And I was like, you know what? You know why I wanted them over Georgia? Because Carson Beck sucked.
Yeah.
I'm like, how is Georgia this freaking good and their quarterback sucks? And then they said the same thing about Penn State, Drew Aller. I'm like, this guy sucks.
Yeah.
And we saw he had a lot of missed things. I'm like, let's get Notre Dame. Bump it. Let me get Notre Dame.
Yeah. Notre Dame won me a lot of money betting in the regular season. And then when they were playing like Army and Navy and they were even getting, those teams were getting 14. I was like, there's no way they're going to keep up with them. And when I went to that Georgia, I bet them against Indiana because I didn't really think Indiana was as advertised. I mean, they had an incredible season, but like when they played Ohio State, you saw what kind of happened. But yeah, that Georgia Notre Dame game, I kept on flipping back and forth. I'm like, man, I don't know who to pick in this game. And for some reason I was like, I actually picked Notre Dame, and at the last second I changed to Georgia. And then this week I'm like, I'm taking Notre Dame, and I did the same thing with Ohio State last week, and now I'm taking Ohio State tonight, and yeah, we'll see. That should be another good game tonight.
Dude, Ohio State is on one, man.
Yeah,
they are on a mission. They're on a mission from God, dude. They are focused, laser focused.
Yeah, I said like the best thing that could happen to Notre Dame was when they lost to Northern Illinois, and the best thing that happened to Ohio State was when they lost to Michigan. So I know you don't want to lose to your rival, but if it leads to a title, I mean, that's kind of a nice.
Let's see, lose to a rival or title.
Yeah. Kind of a nice payoff.
Yeah, it is. Let's get that. Let's get on with the boys, man. The first round of interviews happened yesterday. All of them are over Zoom. Are you happy with that, or does it? Would you rather have them bring in some people that they were able to bring in by the bylaws of the NFL?
I don't even think it matters, to be honest. Like I think people are kind of just looking for a reason to get mad at times. But I can see the argument the other side too. Like I do think there is value in bringing in Mike Vrabel or bringing in Pete Carroll, because I think now with the list is up to like 15, 16, they can only technically bring in 4 guys because everyone else is everyone else is still in the playoffs. And it can't be interviewed, or it can't interview unless it's virtually.
Yep.
Yeah. So, David Shaw, Matt Campbell, if he interviews, Mike Vrabel, Pete Carroll be the 4 off the top of my head that you could bring in. I mean, I don't think it's a deal breaker for any candidate. I think it's just kind of what the Bears want to do. And we'll see. The next round, they'll get guys in the building. It's not like they're going to be doing they're going to be doing virtual the entire time. I'd be absolutely shocked if they did that. They'll get guys in the building, and we'll see where it goes from there. But, when you talk about Mike Vrabel, and he's already interviewed, it kind of feels like he's going to New England. It kind of just feels like the worst kept secret with, how they did their interview process. And, in my opinion, kind of exploiting the Rooney Rule, getting those 2 interviews, right away and out of the way. So we'll see, but I don't think it's a big deal. And again, I don't think it's going to be a difference maker. I think it's just kind of like the times we're in, you know what I mean? Like it's Zoom is used more for work and stuff now too. It's just kind of what it is. It's a lot of meetings are over Zoom instead of in office. I can tell you, my wife has Zoom meetings all the time at her office. You know what I mean? It's like,
how many offices have a Zoom meeting?
Yeah, it's not the only one. Different companies do it like that. So
yeah, I had a problem with it, man. I thought, and here's why: if you wanted Vrabel, okay, which something tells me they don't, because of his strong personality. If you wanted him, then you better go show his ass that you want him. I'm gonna send the plane. I'm gonna send the hell with first class. We're sending the plane, baby. Not first class. We're sending the plane for you. All right, little private jet. Bring your ass. You know what I mean? And
that's the God. Who's the Washington head coach right now? I'm blanking on his name. Dan Quinn. That's the Dan Quinn thing where like they wouldn't put him in first class or something like that.
Yeah.
They just don't, for whatever reason, they do not operate how should I say it? How a normal NFL franchise should operate. I mean, I'll give you a prime example, and not to get off topic, but Tuesday when we had the presser with Ryan Poles, you know, the media room at House Hall, it's a small one. It's an overflow of media at times, but they did him in they had his presser in that little media room, and then they did Kevin Warren and George McCaskey in the midway hallway where there's not a lot of space. So it's like, you know, you're trying to scream over people getting questions. You know, I can't get a question in because I'm 5 rows back, and it's just like, so to your point, I mean, I get it. It's just that's how they operate. So like nothing surprises me, you know, if that kind of makes sense. Like how they choose to do things, I just don't even. It's just like right over my head now because that's just how they are. Like and I would agree. Like I think, you know, there are benefits to having the in-person, the human to human, you know, connection. Like you're there, you know, you're talking. Yeah, exactly. You're talking to someone. The handshakes are still important. Things like that. Like,
yes,
but you know, it's how they're choosing to do it, and we'll see. But I think with Vrabel, I think, you know, it's the worst kept secret. He ends up in New England. I don't know if that's impacting the Bears' decision because, like you said, if you really want them, you make that effort. You know what I mean? Like you make that effort to get them in the building, to get them, you know, around your building, to meet people. And you know, I don't know. It's just
pull out all the stops. I mean, when you're courting your wife, you know what I'm saying? Like you and all, you're all out. You know, like
exactly.
Dinners and the flowers and the calls and texts and all this. You know what I mean? Like you go out, let them know. There's no question that we're not interested. There's no question whether we want you or not. There's no question that we want you to leave no question in the mind of that candidate and let it be up to him. When you come up with a half-ass effort, it's like, yeah, I'm here to guess what? It is what I'm hearing. I mean, it is what I'm hearing across the league. And you know, who was the wide receiver who was on that one podcast? He's like, when I went to Chicago.
Oh yeah.
You know, they're a clown of an organization. They're a joke.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, it's like, this is how they view, this is how the players.
Oh yeah.
The league view the Bears. So
it's players, coaches, media, analysts. It's how they view the Bears overall. I mean, it's you know, you've been there, you've been at the games, you've been in the media. It's how they just do it, and it's frustrating. It is because I feel like, you know, I grew up a Bears fan. I also have to have a line of being professional with it. At the same time, you know, you just get frustrated because you feel for the fans and you feel for, you know, I have close family and friends are just constantly texting, like, what are they doing? What's going on? And it kind of feels like, you know, maybe the media in that building knows more than they do, you know, and I don't want that people take that out of context, but like, you know, it's like you have people in that building writing about your failures. Like you'd think, you know, hey, maybe we got to change something.
Hey, let's draft our franchise quarterback and not protect them.
Yeah, things like that. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And now this is why we're doing this again. This is why you and I are talking about this again today. We should not be talking about this in 2025 after they just hired a coach 3 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
It really is. And you know, Mike Vrabel was my guy.
Yeah.
Okay. What qualities, you know, do you want in a guy? Because me, dude, I want somebody when he steps in the room, you know that motherfucker's in charge. You know, ain't no question, ain't no snickering, talking in the back by the guys that know jokes who sit in the back like, hey, chill, coach it. You know what I mean? That's the type of thing what I want. I want a Ben Vrabel. I want a Pete Carroll when they walk in. People like, you know what I mean? Those type of coaches. For you, does it have to be offensive minded, or is that a deal breaker if it's not offensive minded? What do you want from the next Bears head coach?
For me, it's like I want like a hybrid mix, if that kind of makes sense. So like I want a guy that is offensive minded but can lead a team. If it's a defensive-minded head coach, I'm not going to rule it. I'm not going to be like, well, this is the wrong move. They screwed up right away or anything like that, because I do think there's value in having, the leader of men type guy and the culture changer. What I will say is, like, I don't know why we always have to attribute to the defense, because I do think there is the guy that's on my top of my list. I'll just say Ben Johnson's number 1 for me. Mike Vrabel's number 2 for me. I did my tiers. My first tier is those 2 guys. I would be happy with either of those 2 guys. I would not make a fuss about either, because I do think both have positive qualities. I think with Mike Vrabel, he's got experience as a head coach. He's the type of guy, when he comes in your building, players are going to listen. The culture is going to change. He's going to make
players already said that. He's not even here. The players said that.
Players have already, former players have already said that, and he's going to make it known from day one. There's no screwing around. And now that we learned all that we've learned from this past training camp and off season, that was the Bears' biggest mistake. They brought in an offensive coordinator that just players could make mistakes and screw around and false starts and holding, and nothing was, all there for everyone. When you look at Ben Johnson and kind of going what I was going to say was, I think if you want that offensive-minded head coach and also a guy who could potentially change your culture, it would be Ben Johnson for me because of this. Where has he been the last couple of years? Detroit. What team is the poster child of a culture change in the NFL right now? You'd argue it's probably Detroit Lions with what Dan Campbell's done. No
question.
Is Ben Johnson, that bite your kneecaps, hard ass like Dan Campbell is? And I say hard ass in a good way. I don't know, but he's been in that building. So he knows there's no effing around. You think what was going on with the Bears would fly under Dan Campbell? I don't think so at all. I think they would have put a stop to it, August 10th or whenever. So yeah, I think he knows what it takes to be an NFL head coach, I think, or have that. I don't want to say, I'll rephrase it. He knows what it takes to kind of have that tough mentality, the culture first mentality. So that's why he's at my top. But if it is Mike Vrabel, I'm not upset about it. Look, after that, Pete Carroll's the guy that would probably stand out in that category.
I want him too.
Yeah, I've talked myself more into him over the past couple of days, and I think he's older. He would be the oldest head coach in the NFL, I believe. That shouldn't matter. Look at him; he's found success at the college level.
Yep.
So he knows how to communicate with the younger guys. He's found success at the NFL level, so he knows how to communicate with the veterans. He's well respected around the league. He's probably a guy that you get in your building, you have a interview with, and he's going to tell you, look, we got to change all this, like everything. You know what I mean? So
those Bears might be scared to have that conversation.
That's the problem. What do they want? I mean, do they want that? Are they scared to hear the truth that everyone else?
You can't handle the truth.
Right? Like, I mean, he could walk in and say that plant shouldn't be there. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? It's just little things like that probably, a lot of everyone else sees that the Bears don't see. But yeah, to answer your question, for me, it's like kind of like a hybrid. I'd say I kind of would lean offensive minded, but I would not be upset with Vrabel. I don't think it's going to be Vrabel, to be honest.
I don't either, and I'm hoping I'm wrong, because I really like him, because I would love for him to bring Josh McDaniels over, because ain't nobody hiring Josh McDaniels, not as head coach, after the bullshit he pulled after Indianapolis.
It's over.
It's over for him. You've hit your ceiling as offensive coordinator. It's it, buddy. And so we have, and then there's the consistency for Caleb. Because, I mean, even though I think Josh McDaniels is a douchebag for what he did in Indy, he's still a good offensive coordinator. Let's not get
he's a good offensive mind.
And even remember, we got Cutler because of him too. So back in 2009 with went to Denver. So I guess thank you for that, sir. Thank you. So that's why I do like Vrabel. And Pete Carroll. The reason I really, really low key Pete Carroll might be like my dark horse is because I don't remember who I was watching. I don't know if it was Richard Sherman. I think it might have been. Richard Sherman said because of his energy and his persona, he said he breathed life into Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Like he made Russell Wilson feel that he was the best quarterback to ever throw a God-blessed ball. And it showed. Russell played very, very well in Seattle. Imagine if he does that to Caleb.
Yeah.
Caleb has a pretty high opinion of himself, and I don't mean that in a negative way. But imagine if he breathes life into Caleb. Woo, Charlie. So that's why Pete Carroll's up there for him, because coaching matters. You know that. You know that's my mantra. You know that's my mantra. Yeah. Coaching matters. And if the most important person in your organization is your quarterback, then you better make sure that that son of a gun feels like he's the baddest mother hubber to ever throw a God bless his ball.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And you let him know that, and that's why Russ had that special treatment. That's why Russ had, he had the issue with Sean Payton, because it's not. I'm not Pete Carroll. I'm not going to kiss your ass. I'm not going to cater to you. I'm not going to blow life in you. He was more businesslike.
Yes.
If Pete Carroll can do that for Caleb, dude, the flashes that we saw that Caleb, and we saw a few flashes for Caleb. I'm not a Caleb guy, but I can report objectively. He has a lot of good flashes this year.
Yes. And
those would be a lot more consistent.
He also wasn't in, he had a very turbulent rookie season. Like you go through 3 offensive coordinators, 2 head coaches now. Yeah. I mean, the way that the Bears had it set up, and it's all coming out now. You know what I mean? With the slacking off in training camp, and Ryan Poles flat out said it, we're making too many pre-snap penalties. And I was there. I'd see it all the time, and I'd note it, and I'd write on Twitter, and people, you're negative. I'm like, they're not where they should be. They're not where they should be. And then Cole Kmet says it,
Zach.
right? Oh, it's been happening for years. Cole Kmet says it. Keenan Allen says it. Mercedes Lewis is saying it. They're throwing the offensive coordinator under the bus, and now we know. So yeah, I do think getting like a no BS guy would help. The benefits offensive minded is I do think, even it doesn't have to be offensive minded, honestly, but I do think that, one of the important things is what Ryan Poles said is, how are you going to develop the quarterback? What is your plan to develop the quarterback and make sure he can take that next step in year 2? A year ago today, we'd be sitting here saying CJ Stroud could be the 2nd or 3rd best, 4th best quarterback in the NFL, the way he was going after his rookie season. Sit here now, and you're like, okay, look at that season he had, this year. And they're in the playoffs, but they also are in one of the worst divisions. Yeah, they're also in one of the worst divisions in football too. So, you got to make sure the development is there. Like, look at Josh Allen from year 1 to year 2. Huge step. Lamar Jackson, huge step. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's the development of Caleb Williams is certainly on the top of my list as well.
It has to be.
Yeah, that has to be the most important thing.
Priority number 1. And I get it. The culture change, but I don't give a damn if you change the culture. Get my quarterback developed. Get my quarterback to the spot where he is a Mickey Ficky problem, where guys are like, shit. The way people think about going to face Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, when you face those guys the following week, you're like, this is going to be crazy. That's how we need him to get. We need to get him to that level of consistency, that level of performance, level of confidence. Because even though he's confident, you can only be so confident when you don't have results.
Yeah.
You can only be so confident when you don't have results. When you hit results, your confidence goes to another level. And now he's got to get to that level. And then we need the guy to get him to that level. What do you think were one of the biggest, what are a couple of the things that you think he needs to work on, where he struggled this year? Caleb, that is.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think the obvious ones right away is you're looking at, taking the sacks, getting rid of the football, and I think he actually did a really good job against Green Bay with that. Like, compared to Seattle, where he was kind of holding a little longer, against Green Bay, I mean, he was getting rid of it, throwing it out of bounds. When you look at the pass chart, the 10 incompletions, and his pass chart only has 3 dots of incompletions because he threw it away 6-7 times. So that's kind of learning. And the only sack he took was on the first offensive snap of the game from when the ball was over his head, and Rashawn Gary was, right there in the backfield. So I think he knows that. I think that's the biggest thing. The deep ball accuracy, I think, is probably the second biggest thing. But also we have to kind of remember too, like Thomas Brown said, the Bears aren't going to reinvent the wheel in offense when he took over. Like, they were still pretty much running Shane Waldron's offense. And that's designed, whether we like it or not, that's designed a lot to go horizontal, getting playmakers in space and getting them down the field and taking your shots when you can. We just didn't even see that often. So,
No,
when Caleb did take deep shots, they were mostly off. But that's also repetition too. How much in training camp are they taking deep shots? I'll tell you right now, there was way more short throws, behind the line of scrimmage throws, things like that.
Wide receiver screens.
Yeah, things like that than there were deep shots, and that's by design. So that's something where it's different in the college game. Going from college to NFL, it's way different taking, those long throws because, in the college, you have guys that are, the best of the best on your team going against whoever. NFL, you're going against the best of the best every single week. So I think those two areas are probably the best. I think his leadership is still good. I was impressed with that. I think he's got the arm talent. I think the sidearm throws, the arm angles, the launch angles are good. Reading the defenses, I think he's getting better at as well. I would like, a little more freedom for him to kind of check out of a play or him to kind of recognize what, here's the blitzer, here's the mic, all that stuff. But I think those two are the biggest issues I would probably work on.
Okay. This offensive line, moving into the draft.
Yeah.
You got 3 in the top 41, if I'm not mistaken. 10, 39, and 41.
Yep.
What are your 3 picks? Give me your first pick overall, number 10, and then give me because it doesn't really have to be in the order because you're going every 39 and 41. So
yeah.
Who's you're picking like for sure? We're getting this position at number 10.
Yeah, so I would have loved Abdul Carter from Penn State, but I think he made himself a lot more money last night, and he's definitely
playing with one arm.
Yeah, he's definitely not falling to 10. He'd have to have bad medicals to fall.
Dude, he's playing with one arm. You tell when he's jogging, his arms it was just stiff while he's swinging his right arm. One arm, he's freaking destroying people.
Yeah, he would have been a dream pick for me at 10. That's not going to happen. I would say it'd either be an offensive guard or an offensive tackle. I really like Will Campbell out of LSU.
Yeah.
I believe he's a tackle in college. I think they project him at guard in the NFL. I'd be fine with that. Yeah, I believe that's right. I'd have to double check. I haven't really dove into my scouting yet, but believe Will Campbell would probably be my best bet at 10. Position wise, I think it's got to be either offensive tackle, guard, or edge. I think those are the 3 you got. Anything else would be kind of shocking to me. I get the Genty hype. I understand. I think you can get another back in round 2 that could be of service of you. You know what I mean? Like I think you could go. Amari and Hampton from North Carolina would be a solid pick later in round 2 or 3. It has to be trenches for me. It absolutely has to be. That'd be anything else would be disappointing unless it's something crazy like someone fell, like Will Johnson or someone, and you're really high on him. But even then, I'd be a little.
Even then, yeah. For me, it's got to be the trenches. For me, it's got those first 3. O-line, I'd say tackle. Give me your. But I mean, the guard. To me, I mean, not to me in football. Guard to guard is where your strength of your line is because you can always step up. You can.
Yes.
We need that, but I still want to tackle. Give me a stud. Give me a stud offensive lineman that first pick. If it's a guard, perfect. Yeah. I'm not going to be a center because you're not going to pick a center that high. So if it's a guard,
no.
Most likely a tackle will go that high. And if it's a tackle to take over Braxton Jones, I'm cool with it because he's protecting the backside of your franchise quarterback. So, tackle. I'll just say tackle with 10. 39 and 41, O-line, D-line. I don't care what order. D-line, O-line, D-line, whichever one. And these are the ones I got to hit on. These are the ones dude, we got 3 picks in the top 100.
Yeah.
That's only there's so many, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of edge rushers in there coming out this year. Remember last year, all we talked about, next year is all the edge rushers. Well, guess what? This is next year. And we got the edge rushers. We should be able to get one with that last pick. With 41, like I said, if you see someone you want 39 and you go get them. But that's what I need. I need that freaking, because I was talking to my guy at the CrossFit this morning. I'm like, that is the definition of irony. guy who's a former offensive lineman doesn't build up the offensive line through the draft.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, I mean,
go figure that.
My thing is, you got those 3 picks. 2 of them absolutely have to be trenches. I'd hear an argument for the 3rd pick at a different position, depending on the player, depending what they do. I think if they dangled Tyreek Stevenson as a trade, or they just cut ties with him or whatever, I would entertain a defensive back. I would entertain it. 2 absolutely have to be trenches for me. 2 offensive linemen, an offensive lineman, or an edge. 1 has to be an offensive lineman for sure. But I'd probably lean more towards the side of all 3 of their picks being offensive line or edge, a mixture of that. I'd be totally fine with that.
Okay, guys, we're joined by Zack Pearson from BearReport.com, talking Bears football here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. How long do you think this head coaching search will take? And I mean, it's kind of a tough question because if you're a Ben Johnson guy and really can't do much with Ben Johnson until he gets done, and that might end up in what is it, Detroit this year? Is that what the Super Bowl is? Detroit?
New Orleans.
That's right. New Orleans.
Yeah.
How long do you think this thing will take?
I mean, I honestly, my personal opinion, I think it's going to take as long as the Detroit Lions are alive in the playoffs. So if you really want Ben Johnson, hope that the Lions lose. Hope that they lose early and kind of get it out the way. But what you see in the past, Kevin O'Connell was in the Super Bowl with the Rams, and the Vikings had to wait a long time to hire him. I'm sure they had a handshake agreement. He probably had an interview, and they were, probably sold on him. And they just had to wait to make it official. I mean, if Ben Johnson's their top guy, which I believe he is, I believe he should be, you're going to wait until the Lions are done. If, Pete Carroll comes in their interview, or Joe Brady or someone like that comes in and has Cliff Kingsbury has a really good interview and blows you away, and you feel like, okay, this is our guy. Are you willing to do that and pull the trigger before Ben Johnson's even, allowed to interview again? I think they're going to take their time with it. They don't have to rush, because it's not like the Jaguars or the Raiders are going to get a head start on you on Ben Johnson. He can't interview after this week and, until they're eliminated. Right. So it's like, I'd probably say, I think the Lions are going to go far, honestly. So I think it's going to be at least 3 to 4 weeks more.
I think, and Mr. Shorty says weeks as well. It takes a colossal F up to transpire. The Bears need to overthink it till the brain hurts, and then they default the biggest dork to pass the eye test. That's funny. But no, I agree with you, man. I think it's going to take a minute, especially if that's your dude. That if Ben Johnson is your dude, okay, then make it work, and I'm okay with it. Are you cool with Ryan Poles being the point man on this thing, or leading this charge? Are you cool with it? Because I'm not.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yeah, it's tough, because I think it's clear that they're going to plan to extend him if, to match up with the GM. If not, they probably should have just fired him, because you don't want to keep doing this where you have lame duck situations. I mean, I kind of like, in a way, that I think there's a lot of pressure on him now. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of pressure on that. He has to get this right. And to me, that means he's really going to take his time. He's really going to do his homework. He should be doing that stuff. I can't say 100% he will, but he should be doing that stuff. A normal GM would, a good GM would. So I think the pressure on him is actually a good thing, because he knows, if I screw this up, I'm done. This is it. This is it for me. Wow. I am absolutely toast. So yeah, I do trust it a little bit, and I do like that he has to do it. At the same time, his decisions in the past have kind of come back to bite the Bears, and that's why they're in this position now, and that's why they're looking for a new head coach, and he's got to figure this out, and they got another leadership council. They I hope they don't consult Bill Polian again. That was
please don't.
please, never again. Which it doesn't sound like they're going to. So, yeah, I'm fine with it, just because I think the pressure, what's that saying? Pressure creates diamonds. So we'll see.
Yeah, but also burst pipes too. So
yes, it does. Yes, it does. And it's not good if it's bursting pipes at this time of year.
Ain't that the truth, man?
Yeah, it's getting cold.
Yeah, so I'm a little leery on him with that about him making his decisions. It's just it's his philosophy. Maybe he rethinks his philosophy.
He might have to.
Because of what we talked about, your inability to, if he doesn't pick a minimum of 2 out of these first 3 draft picks or D line, like how can you trust this guy? Like that's why I can't trust him now. I'm like, you don't bring in a guy for you think this 5th round pick out of Southern Utah is good enough, and then you put, when he's hurt, you put a kid who played in FCS a level below the Big Four and who was injured that you drafted. Come on, man. There was just so many red flags about him as time went on. And, Rashawn Johnson. I like Rashawn Johnson. But what does he do? When you get the ball, he's not a guy that I can think, okay, take it to the house. He's not a guy that can outrun people. He's not a guy who can kind of shake people. He's a guy who's going to run through you. And guess what? He's going to fall down when it's said and done. But all we heard was, he's a great guy. He's a great character. Never met a young man with such character. And it's like, and that was a red flag at the time, and a lot of us tend to overlook it, like, oh, he's a good guy. Man, it's just like his decision making is beyond suspect, and it really bothers me, dude. It really, really does. And I don't think he has that cutthroat evaluation skill that you need, and that's the. So Caleb had a pretty good year. What would you give him? What would you for Caleb?
My grade for him, I would probably put it as a B, I think, just because of what he had to go through.
Okay.
I just think it was, like I said, it was a turbulent year. The hype was all there. There was a lot of hype going into the season. And it's hard to kind of live up to that right away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, I think Jaden Daniels is going to be a really good quarterback. I don't know if Jaden Daniels would have been what he is in Washington at this situation either. I just think it's the Bears. It's a bad situation. It's just always a bad situation. So my grade, I think he'd be a B, and I think there's a lot to like. I think, the Bears, I feel more confident now with their quarterback position than I have in a long time moving forward.
Yeah, the kid's special. I mean, like I said, how my stance on the Civil War, but it doesn't mean that I don't see this guy's talent. This guy's extremely talented. You just got to get somebody to bring it out of him. Right? You got to get someone to bring it out of him and maximize that potential, because there's nothing worse in the world than wasted potential. And you have a guy here who can do some special things, but you got to bring it out. So that's the crazy part, and hopefully he does, because man, it's been a long time since the Bears were good, and that's frustrating, because just think of how much fun we had Sunday when the Bears beat the Packers. I mean, imagine we were winning every week.
Yeah, right.
Every week it'd be something different. So
yeah,
hey Zach, great stuff, buddy. I appreciate it. Do me a favor though, before you go, let everybody know where they can find you and your work online.
You can follow me on Twitter X at Zack_Pearson. You can follow the Bear Report on Twitter at just Bear Report. bearreport.com, and we're still pumping out a lot of head coach stuff. It's going to keep going on this month, and we'll get into the rest of the stuff. So, I appreciate you having me on. Stay warm, and have a good one, man.
Will do, man. You heading down to Mobile for the Senior Bowl?
I'm still debating it. Maybe. I usually send someone down there, but I don't know. We got to kind of figure that out. I know it's coming up, so
yeah, it's like the first. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it's early. Yeah, it's very early this year.
I saw that, and because I want to go, I actually found out a buddy of mine from grammar school and high school lives down there. He's like, bro, you can stay with me. I'm like, oh shit, okay. So I got to figure out. I don't even know what airport to fly into. I tried flying in Mobile, like there's no, like no.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I think it's a weird. You got to fly. It's weird. Yeah, it's a weird one. I can't remember. New Orleans, maybe. I don't know if that's close enough. Yeah.
That's crazy. But hey, man, great stuff again. And again, I appreciate your time and love talking football with you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right. You have a good one.
Yep, you too.
Bye now. Guys, that's Zack Pearson from BearReport.com. And he's echoing the sentiments of a lot of us. All right, a lot of us. You know, it's still a shit show. I just don't know, man. You know, I have a lot of ways I want to see this thing. Here's the one thing that bugs me. Probably the biggest thing that bugs me is what Ryan Poles. He talked about being under 3 GMs in Kansas City, 3 different GMs. All of them have their own different style, how to lead, okay? But they all understood that protecting your quarterback and sacking the opposing quarterback, protecting your quarterback is first of all, getting the quarterback is priority number 1. You got that. Protecting your quarterback is priority number 2. You haven't done that. And based on Montez Sweat's numbers, you haven't got number 3, and that's sacking the other team's quarterback. So you're missing 2 out of these 3 things that'll make you just a contender. Could have been a contender. And why haven't you figured that out and done things to fix that issue? See, this is why I don't think he should be making these decisions. The philosophy is wrong. It's off. His philosophy is off. You go get a young quarterback that you're going to build your franchise around and you don't protect him? You think a 5th-round pick out of Utah State is going to protect him with skinny legs? You don't even get the most athletic one, and he's athletic. He's great on run blocks. Has his issues with pass blocking. Go get a guy who's done it before, who's done it on a high level, done it in the SEC, done it in the Big Ten, done it in the Pac-12. Not a guy who's done it in Southern Utah or a guy who's done it at Yale. Sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I'm not going to lie. You know, the trades, the Nate Davis thing. Like, you knew the rumors were out about Nate Davis not practicing, about being soft. If we heard about him in the public, what did you hear about him? James, let's see what you're talking about. James says, why does everyone think that an offensive coordinator is the best solution for a team that had so many problems? Why does everyone think an offensive coordinator is the best solution for this Bears team who had so many other problems? I don't know if they think it's the best solution. I think the thing is they want to address the most important issue, and that's Caleb's development. So the important thing about getting an offensive coordinator is that Caleb has to develop. You need someone who can develop Caleb. Okay? We had Justin Fields here. He wasn't developed. I'm telling you, Justin was developing. I'm telling you. I don't know why I have so many Pittsburgh people on my Twitter feed. But of course you're going to get your people who always want to start shit, but people talked about, wow, Justin was getting better and better and better every week. When here, he had no one to develop him. You can't keep doing that to quarterbacks. You can't keep doing it. That's why I think people are putting so much emphasis on the offensive coordinator. Oh, you retyped this. So why is it so many people think an offensive coordinator is a solution when this team has so many problems? They do have so many problems. They do. You were right about that. You ain't lied about that, Papa. I'll tell you that right now. But everyone, again, it's the development of Caleb. You bring an offensive coordinator here who can develop Caleb, that's what you want. All right, Caleb threw for 30-something hundred yards, 3,200 yards or something like that. Impressive. Dealing with the turmoil that he dealt with, offensive coordinator being fired, head coach being fired, passing game coordinator being elevated to offensive coordinator being elevated to head coach. It's a lot. And you know what all that is? Distractions. Distractions. So I'm anxious to see the development of Caleb next year. Because there's certain things you could learn on your own. Okay? Like, you got to get rid of the ball quicker. You realize that. Or throw the ball away. You realize that now. You realize that this ain't Cal Santa Barbara, Cal State Fullerton, when you're running and dodging defensive linemen in the backfield where you're running for your life. It's not Cal State Fullerton. This is the NFL, where the best of the best athletes play. So I hope he got it. I would assume he got it. But we're going to see. We're going to see. See what questions you guys have. Any questions? Russell Webster said last year he was king poles. This year he's a pole smoker. How quickly things change. How quickly things can change. I was kind of happy for Mike Kafka. For those of you who don't know, he's the offensive coordinator for the Giants. However, he was with Kansas City for a while. Okay, and he went to Northwestern, but also went to my alma mater. He went to St. Rita High School. So, obviously, low key, yeah, I kind of want him to win. Just low key. How great would that be? A Chicago kid coming back to be the head coach. I mean, really, I don't think he's ready for it. I could be wrong. I could. Probably not, but I can. Did John Madden go to Cal State Fullerton? I don't know. Brian. Junior says, I have no faith in whatever the Bears do. They're inept. Yeah. Well, they've earned that criticism. They've earned that criticism by their decisions and by their play. By their play. So, where do we go from here? I mean, are we still going to get in chat rooms and argue over who they should take? Well, I saw this guy. Look at this guy. Like, talent evaluation is not what most of us do. Talent evaluation is not what you guys do. Or anyone else. For the most part, most other people on X, Twitter. But they're quick to tell you, according to my thing, my evaluation, blah, 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 blah. But I feel it. I mean, they have confidence in what they see, and that's okay. But how many people who evaluate have actually evaluated talent? They've actually coached and brought out the best in kids and young men. But it's interesting. You know, if there's a way we can get. Now here's a question. Would you trade up to get, say, one of your other second round picks, use that and trade up to get Abdul Carter, just like the Texans did? With your 10th pick, you get such and such, or with your 10th pick, you trade up to get Abdul Carter. Because you saw what that boy can do. And that was on one shoulder. I don't know. But damn it. There's a lot of good edges. For me, I gotta keep the main thing. The main thing is protection for Caleb. The main thing is improve that offensive line. Get protection for Caleb. Oh, King Booker World said, if I hear anything on draft day other than for the Bears' first picks, they chose offensive linemen. He said Paul should be fired in his draft. Brian says, not sure about that, King. If Cater or Graham are at 10, I pick them. Mason Graham is a son of a gun. The son of a gun. Could he be the next Aiden Hutchinson on the inside? Maybe. I don't know. I know Graham is great, but keep the main thing. Give me an offensive lineman. Give me a stud offensive lineman. And we talked about the guard to guard. If you got two good guards in the center, you're straight. You got to get those guards and centers. Like if you took a tackle, number 1, an edge 39, and your starting center at 41, I'm happy. I want at least 2 offensive linemen in these first 3 picks. At least 2 are first offensive linemen. And I said I want that first pick, number 10, an O-lineman. Give me someone that I could trust, that Caleb could trust, that got his backside. Give me someone. Black Diamond, what are you saying? Graham Cracker. Brian says you would still have 2 picks in the second round for O-lineman. Who did you want first, Brian? Okay, Peter Graham. It's tough. But if you stick to your plan. Stick to the plan, you can do well. Graham. Oh, somebody wants Mason Graham, the kid out of Michigan. Yeah, but Brian, you're taking away 2 picks in the second round. Give me first round picks. Give me some first round freaking picks in the offensive lineman. That's what I want. All right, Detroit is doing well. How well is Ben Johnson going to do when he doesn't have 3 first round offensive linemen in his line? King Booker World, you ain't never lie. You got 1. Darn it right. Get another one to go with him. Look up on film. Jordan Salvinia. What school, Black Diamond? I'll look it up. What school? They need to fill that up for that offensive line with minimum 3. Minimum. And the other 2 could be second rounders. Arizona, okay. Because if you go back and learn history, you can repeat it intentionally. Look at the Jimmy Johnson thing, Herschel Walker trade. With all those things, not all of them, but with a lot of them, took D linemen, offensive linemen. Build trenches out. Trenches out. So that's why for me, this first pick has to be an offensive lineman. That'll give us 2 offensive linemen in the starting 5. If you want to go get a center, who's he can be the third good, really good player. So you got 3 studs, but they're all in the middle, guard to guard. That's awesome. That's what we need. Watch how much our run game improves. Watch how that run game improves when you get 2 good guards with a center. Watch that game improve. Whew. Rumor has it Jaquan Brisker is going to come back. Well, I'm sure he will. But that he should be ready to go by next season. I mean, hell, we've been out, 8 months, 9 months. Let me see. There's something else I wanted to. I was supposed to see something, but I can't find it. Well, anyway, listen. That's about it for today. Listen, you guys have a phenomenal weekend. Make sure that you stay warm. It's cold out here. If you're in the Chicagoland area, it's cold. What's the I have the weather at the bottom of my computer. It's cold out here in Chicago. It's cold. It's going to be a high of 30. That's not too bad. It's supposed to snow all the way until 4 o'clock, 4:30. But have a great weekend. Enjoy tonight's national college, the semifinal of the college football playoff to see who faces Notre Dame in the championship game. Enjoy Saturday, Sunday, and Monday NFL football. And remember, Monday's game got changed from you might be going, but it got changed from Las Vegas Stadium to place for the Rams. Or I'm sorry, from the place where the Rams play in SoFi Stadium, it got moved to Arizona. That's all right. So thoughts and prayers out to them. A lot of people are losing worldly possessions. And do me a favor. Do yourself a favor. Let your loved ones know you love them. Let them know that you're thinking about them. All right, meet up for brunch. I'm meeting up with a friend for brunch tomorrow. Going out to eat. Met up with a good friend last night I hadn't seen in a while to watch the game. So it can be done. Just, pick and choose your times. Doesn't have to be some grandiose event. It just be grabbing lunch. Could be grabbing dinner. Could be grabbing brunch. Could be grabbing a bite. Just make sure you reach out to them, let them know, all right? Because tomorrow, as I always say, is not promised. All right, I got to go pick up the warden. All right, she gets out in a half hour. So for all of us here at Sports Zone Chicago, guys, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Have a phenomenal weekend. Your boy is out.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra.
Wrong one. What was that? That was that one. Here, now we're out. For real.